The small and the large all become objects of intense scientific study, patiently counting the minutes it takes them to go down. Where do we go from here? Enough has now been learned to move to the next stage. Load the first rhino, partially drugged, for its 140-mile journey to another Zululand reserve. To wildlife conservationists, this is something of an historic occasion. To the rhino, the journey from Umfolozi to Ndumu Game Reserve will be but a hazy memory. Time to wake up. You've arrived. A fit but flummoxed rhino starts a new life. Others will be joining it soon. Back at Umfolozi, operations continue. 4 for the Kruger National Park are next on the schedule. The rhinos are not yet aware of the truck. They move into range. Luck? Yes. And skill? Definitely. The trailing and the roundup. And we're off to the Rhino Rodeo. There's still plenty of steam in this ton of rhino. The drugs are acting slowly, but that sleepy feeling wins out in the end. Experiments have merged into exacting routine. Each rhino's personal file, with all its detailed data, is now the responsibility of Ian Player. Dr. Harthorne has left, his work completed. A small breather before the next rhino, aided by the doctor's magic drug, is crated. 30 seconds after getting the antidote, the rhino stands up. It works every time. Kruger Park officials watching the loading get to know their future charges. New lessons are constantly being learned. These men are not professional trappers, but with hard work and a practical turn of mind, they keep pruning down the loading time. Quite comfortable, thank you. Sturdy rhino enclosures called bomas are completed in record time. Rhinos, which are to be transported long distances, must be kept under close observation for at least a week. The effect of the drugs will then have worn off completely. There's plenty of room for exercise. The first tenant arrives on rollers. Relaxed. A bit sleepy and unsteady, perhaps. You'll feel fine in the morning. The rangers watch anxiously for that first drink. It means all will be well. One grows oddly attached to these prehistoric creatures who settle into captivity so placidly and easily. They cautiously try a new diet of cut grass and unfamiliar lucerne. Fit, frisky, and ready to travel. A week ago, he would have fled in panic from man. Now he feeds from his hand. A bit mean, perhaps, to abuse his touching trust, to trick him into that noose. But that rhino must go into that crate. And so you've got to use a little cunning and a lot of staying power. The tug-of-war is won. The ranger's tactics prove efficient, and the rhino not too resentful. The other 3 Kruger Park rhinos are crated in quick succession. When they are comfortably packed for travel, the first truck gets underway. Leaving Umfolozi, the road winds north through Zululand, Swaziland, and into the Transvaal. "350 anxious miles for the men in the convoy. And then, after 30 tiring hours, the Kruger National Park. At Pretoria's Kop, a great welcome awaits the rhinos. But this is no time to indulge in pleasantries. These animals must be released into the waiting bomas without delay. The first VIP emerges, a mite confused, a little travel-worn, but otherwise in good condition. This makes history. 65 years ago, the last white rhino vanished from the Transvaal, and now they've returned, in style. The next day finds them back to normal. They explore their strange surroundings and quickly settle down in their new home. A success to be proud of, and a new attraction for the Kruger National Park. Requests for rhinos started to come in from the Willem Pretorius Reserve in the Orange Free State, from Rhodesia, the United Kingdom, the USA, Germany. Operations were further streamlined to meet the demand. This proved to be the answer for shorter hauls. With gentle efficiency, rollers helped to move the sleepy rhinos onto the truck and into the boma. The shorter the period under drugs, the quicker the recovery time. The rangers devised protective clothing for themselves and their horses, and they need it. Some of the capture areas are in the thick bush outside the reserve, where the animals, constantly harried by poachers, are wild and easily flee in panic. To save time in the darting operations, a new strategy was evolved, using the element of surprise. Tail shot. The dart's falling out. A long chance in a difficult job. Drugs are expensive. Next time, he won't miss. Dr. Harthorn's newest drugs mix easily. There's no time wasted. Right. Ready to go. The rhinos have been kept in sight by Nick Steele. The player wants the same rhino. There's a chance that some of the drug may have been absorbed. Perfect shot. And without pause, the capture work goes on. 20, 30, 40, the target is getting closer. But there are still hundreds of rhinos trapped in pockets outside the game reserve and in the corridor. Can they all be moved in time? But as a species, the white rhino has been saved. For months to come, life won't be the same at Umfolozi. A disrupting urgency has taken the place of the usual tranquility. of the world's rarest animals has escaped extinction because an imaginative scheme was boldly tackled by men who've worked tirelessly and found new ways, humane ways, to catch a rhino.
In the good old days, the adventurer could travel into the heart of Africa by steam train. Now, more than a century later, the excitement of those early experiences is captured by the Zululand Express as it carries us on the first leg of an adventure to discover the wildness and splendor of Africa in its most natural state. The journey ends at Shishlui, a central point for a host of Zululand game reserves. Our first destination, the Zululand Tree Lodge. And wow, what a reception! The lodge, with its eco-friendly feel, has been built by local people who were given on-the-job training. The whole complex, in fact, has been designed to blend in harmoniously with the fever forest, and the rooms have an out-of-Africa simplicity. The forest spans the natural floodplain of the Muzuneni River. I later learnt more about fever trees from our guide, Ruben.
The fever trees, people in olden days, when they came to South Africa, they had these trees in Central Africa where it's raining and mosquitoes and wet. And the people, they got fever from mosquitoes, and they thought they get it from the tree.
Oh, I see. And the tree that we saw on the way here with the long sausages, is it a sausage tree?
We Zulus, we believe that if you're walking into the bush while it's lightning and thundering, you carry the leaf or the sausage itself yourself from lightning. And we also, the rhinos, when they drop down, the rhinos, they eat the sausages itself. And the giraffe, impala, and kudu, inyala, they eat the leaves and the flowers when they drop down.
Then there is the tree with the spellbinding name, Magiguari. Locals believe it has magical qualities,